Hey,
All
what do you
right.
know? We have Audrey
What are
Kay.
you doing? Yes.
Awesome. So good to
Ooh,
see you.
that was a interesting thing. I should have done this yesterday, but I didn't know that that's the way, that's the way it was going to have to be done. But
I
how
know.
are you?
I'm
Yeah.
doing well. I'm so happy to see you.
Okay,
We're
then. What
worth
we
the
got
wait,
going?
ma'am. Worth the wait.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate it. Oh,
You're
God.
welcome. Yes, so we're just gonna jump right into my podcast, Simply Felicity. I'm able to use the audio from this and put it right on the website for the podcast. But with your permission, I'll also air the video copy to Facebook and YouTube.
It's all right. You have my permission. Go ahead, girl. Do it.
All right.
For the people.
Woohoo! Well, welcome everyone to Simply Felicity. Thank you for joining me and one of my local celebrity icons, Miss Audrey Kay from Today with Audrey Kay on CAN TV. So happy to have you here.
Oh, it's so happy to see you again, and it's so happy to be on with you. I love everything you do, so this is a big, big honor for me.
Well, the feeling is definitely mutual. How long have you been doing your talk show?
Okay, so now I believe we are in our 5th year. I think we
Woohoo!
may be moving into our 6th year. Yes, our 6th year in, I think, is April or May, or something
Wow.
like that. But we're moving into our 6th year, and we're just growing and learning things, and the talk show is getting better and better, and we're able to have more guests. And the quality of our guests is just like it's going up and up and up. So it's been a good ride. I love it every time.
That
Yes,
is
I
so
do.
awesome. I love it. And you're also, I don't know, maybe if my awareness is expanding or if you're expanding other things that you're doing in the community in terms of theater. Um, how many shows have you done? What have you got going on with that right now?
Okay, I've written 2 plays so far that are actually published, that are actually out there. And one of them is A Fiery Destination, and one of them is 3 Stars. Now, those are the 2 plays we've been performing. And we're going to perform A Fiery Destination. We just performed 3 Stars about several months ago. We
Okay.
performed 3 Stars, and now we're going to do A Fiery Destination. And the Fiery Destination, we will do that in the summer. We're planning to do it at the end of the summer. We were going to do it at the beginning of the year in January, but we had a conflict because we're doing an event for teens called Etiquette Sock Hop. And
I
so
love
we
that
had,
what you do for them. That is so
yes,
cool. And that
it's
this, how many have
it's
you done? Whoa, is that the program?
that's the flyer. And what it is, it's a etiquette sock hop. I don't know how well you can see it,
You can
but
see
it's
it
an
real
etiquette
good.
sock hop. Oh, okay, for teens. And what we do is, because we feel like teens get an edge when they have the skills to interact socially
Wow.
with not only with each other, but with people who they meet in their lives. Say, for instance, we want them to be one of the few teens who knows, well, not few, because we want it to be a lot of them,
Right,
who
right.
knows yeah, what is polite and what is impolite. And that's just basically common sense. But what we do is we just kind of like we just add, we just put it out there to them so that they can understand this is just a way of common sense. So you won't be offensive to people. So you won't offend people. So you'll know how to act in various situations and circumstances in your life. So you'll know which fork to use, which knife to use, what to
Nice.
do for your date, formal date. We cover all of that.
Wow.
Plus, we cover, some of the things we cover is we're covering 6 important life skills. And one of them is what to do if you get stopped by the police, whether you're walking, whether you're in
Very
your car,
good.
and they need to know that. And we have an attorney that's going to do that. Okay. And we also
Wow.
have, and another one of the skills we're going to address is finance and credit, how that works. So we have
Wow.
someone from the banking industry to come in and tell the teens what they should do, what they shouldn't do, what they're looking for. So these people have inside information. We also have someone coming in that's from staffing, that works for a staffing firm, and they're going to teach the kids and show the kids what it is that employers are looking for, how to put their best foot forward in an interview. Whether it
Wow.
could be for college, it could be for anything, but how to put your best foot forward. We're
So
going to have
super
someone
relevant,
coming.
super like right now things that teens need to know. All in this sort of throwback idea of a sock hop. Are you culminating with a
Yes,
dance or?
yes, we're going to end with the dance, and what they're going to have. The teens are actually going to have an opportunity to win cash money. They're going to
Wow.
have an opportunity to win $50 for the best 50s inspired outfit
Oh,
at the
I love it.
dance. So $50 for the best 50s inspired outfit for the dance. So it doesn't have to be a costume. It could be, and this is where we tap into the teens' creativity.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we tap into their creativity, and also at the sock hop, we tap into socializing, because a lot of these teens today, they really don't get to socialize as much as they should or as much as they need to.
Right.
They really don't get to. So we put them, all of this is happening. It's so many levels that is happening with this one event. So we're pretty excited about that. And
Wow. That's very exciting. Where can people find out more information about it?
and it's going to be out there where you are. It's going to be in Joliet.
Oh,
Actually, yes, at the Clarion Inn on December 21st. And look, these kids get a full course lunch. That's where we teach the etiquette portion of it. They get a full course lunch. They also, at the end of the day, they get a pizza bar, a
ah,
variety of pizzas and salads and drinks and all that. They get that during the sock hop. So we're really fired up about this, and we really want to get this information, get these teams together where they can meet like-minded teams. Now, one guy asked me, well, can't they just come to the sock hop and not to the morning sessions, which is like a conference? And the answer was no, because we want all the teams in this sock hop to be on one accord, to
yeah.
be like-minded in and the people that they meet and the people that are there, they can hopefully develop some very positive relationships. The parents that are sending their kids, they're looking for positive endeavors to include their kids in.
So you're
So
sending the
it's on
message
so
that
many
it's
levels.
important, yeah, that it's very important who your associations are. So you're sending that message
Yes.
right from the beginning. And this is
Yes.
really, really fantastic. And so, and where can they where can people find out about this event?
Well, it is on Eventbrite,
Okay, great.
but
And yeah.
mhm. But they should also go to www.intothelightsite.com, because they can find out more details about the sock hop. That's going to be very exciting, not only for the parents, but also for the teens too.
Yeah, absolutely. I will make sure I have that website wherever I post the video or the podcast. I will make sure I have that website right there for you guys, because this is just a tremendous, I would call it ministry or service to the community.
It's a ministry.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's very
Yeah.
exciting. And I know
Well, you
everything
know
you
how
do
we
is
do.
ministry. Yes.
Yes, because where we come from, the name of our organization actually is Christ Alive Worldwide Ministries.
Right.
So we call it Calm Productions. And that's when we do various things. The TV show that you happen to be on at one time, Felicity,
Yes,
and you were
yes.
awesome. And you
Thank
were
you.
awesome. All of that is geared toward just putting light into our community, putting positivity into our community, just a community type situation. Everything that we do, nothing is just for one thing. Nothing is just for entertainment. Nothing is just so somebody can be seen. I had you on the show because I know that you had a lot to say, and I've heard you, and I know your mind and how it works. So I knew that when you were on the show, Felicity Joy, it would resonate. It would resonate with the audience, and I was right. And I was right. So everything we
It
do,
was a
including
definite
Clubhouse.
like-minded coming together for sure. I mean, it was such a blast being on there, and the other women as well. We all wanted to
Oh,
leave and have a PJ party just to spend more time together. And I believe that's how the teens are gonna feel by this day-long event. So that's fantastic. And like you said, everything you do, say it again, Christ Alive.
Worldwide Ministries.
Christ
Worldwide
Alive
is
Worldwide Ministries.
it's two
Yes.
songs. It's two words. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. So
And so,
yeah.
and then you have one or two books.
I actually have two books, but my most recent book that I'm very excited about. Not that I'm not excited about the first one. The first book that I had out is called Recognizing Satan. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Very good.
what it talks about, and I have a passion for that because I feel like a lot of times people just don't know how the devil is working, the enemy is working in their minds to steal their destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very passionate about people achieving their destiny, because when they do, it's good for everybody. It's not just good for them, it's good for everybody. It's good for the world.
That's
So
right.
I'm very excited about that. Yes, I am. I'm very excited about that. So that was my first book, Recognizing Satan, to be able to see how his little subtleties work. And a lot of people don't understand it. So I wrote that book. Now, my most recent book is Why Christian Women Should Be Sexy. That is very exciting, confident, competent, and appealing. Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Look at that
And
cover. So fun.
yes, and the reason why I wrote this book is because, well, my husband is a minister, and a lot of times women, they come to me, and what I found out, excuse the phone, it's gonna be ringing,
No problem.
but what I found out is that they had pretty much the same problems that over and over again, I kept hearing this repetition of what women were going through in their soul, in their heart, in their emotions, and I kept pretty much giving out the same advice over and over again.
Yeah.
So God put it on my heart to just put it in a book.
Yeah.
And then that way, not only can you tell them, they can get the book and they can read it for themselves. And we've been getting some really good reviews on it. I think I posted a couple of things on the Today with Audrey Kay site. And one of the last comment that I got, I just put up there recently, and she was telling how much she enjoyed the book. And I'm telling you, this book is being a blessing. It's been a blessing to so many women. I get so many people, so many women who are saying how much it helped them and how much they didn't realize, what it was. But I
Well,
just think, I just
it's
give
not
God
a
the
repeat
glory.
of anyone else's message. I mean, this is like
Yeah.
a fresh sort of take, and I think it brings balance to the church community as we talk about being modest, and we talk about just
Yes.
not being like the world, right? But then
Yes.
we can get pushed so far into a corner,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
I think it actually becomes about fear at that point, which that is not God. When
Yes.
we are too afraid to be confident and to be and to be sexy, to be who God
Very
created us to
exciting,
be.
competent, to be very exciting, competent, confident, and appealing. And a
Love
lot
it.
of times we don't know what that looks like. It doesn't look like someone who is showing all their stuff, or, you know, showing body parts that really, should not be shown, or anything like that. So it's more about being sexy on the inside. And then when you let God on the inside, this book, by the way, is based on Proverbs 31,
Love
the
it.
Proverbs 31 woman.
Oh,
So
I love
you
that
feel,
fresh take on Proverbs 31. That's fantastic.
yeah, so you feel confident, if you are a Christian, that this is what it's about. It's about what the world says is sexy, and what is truly sexy
Mm,
in reality. That's what draws the attention, that you may, or may not be craving, but that's what draws people into your sphere, into your world, just by you being yourself. Because however God made you, however he made you, believe me, it's good. Believe me, it's beautiful.
yes.
Believe me, it's right, and it's right on, and it's comfortable for you. When we try and be what someone else wants us to be, whether it's a boyfriend, a dad, a mama, that gives us discomfort. It causes discomfort in
Mm,
our heart and in our soul. And we're not doing what God put us here to do. So one of these things this book does is like, own yourself, own who you are. It's good. It's good.
yeah.
What's
I
not good
love
is who you are not.
I love talking about this at this moment in culture. I don't know if you heard about this, but I don't watch the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but I heard about a moment that happened on the show this week. Have you heard about that? About
With
Kanye?
Kim Kardashian
Yeah, with
and
Kanye West
Kanye.
having a discussion with her, saying that he would like her to change the way she dresses. And
Mm-hmm.
with the spiritual progression that awakening that he's having right now, and just wanting to give his life to Christ and be more godly, he said the way she's dressing is grieving his spirit. And so I just think to go ahead and have a godly picture of what it is to be very exciting, to be confident, to be alluring, to be someone that draws that attention, but it's from the inside out, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
causing grief to God, and you're not, grieving yourself, really, because it it really causes a lot of anxiety to have to keep that up, and to
Yes.
be concerned about what other people think, to be dressing for them. And in your own skin, it actually becomes very difficult, because sin only has pleasure for a season. And so,
Yes.
but after that season, it's like it's anxiety ridden. If
Yes.
you can grasp on to this definition and this view of the Proverbs 31 woman, I mean, that is something that lasts a lifetime, and, makes you comfortable and the people around you comfortable as well.
Yes. And I think that a lot of people, which is why I wrote this book, a lot of people, they don't understand what it means, because they talk about the spindles. Like, we don't have spindles. what are you talking about? It's like, and so a lot of the examples that they use in the proverb, I break it down so that people can understand how it attests to what's happening now, right now in our society in modern times. And if you don't mind, I'd like to go back to that Kanye West thing that you were talking about.
I'd love to hear your comments on that.
Yeah, so first of all, I did put something on the Today with Audrey Kay page on the Facebook page on my Facebook page about that incident with his picture and her picture. And I love what you said about this is a season in Kanye's life where he's spiritually evolving, if you will. And so for him to just be honest enough to share that with her is awesome. But on Kim's behalf, what I want to say is this, Kim Kardashian's behalf, I want to say is this, is that, let me tell you, change is hard.
Right.
Change is very difficult. Mm-hmm. So we have to be patient, because whereas Kanye was at a point in his life when Kim accepted him, fell in love with him,
yes,
just fell in love with him, he was at that point in his, and she didn't challenge that, because that's where he was. Kanye, on the other hand, what he's going to have to do, and in this season in his life, maybe God is, he's going to have to pray.
Yeah.
He's going to have to ask God to enlighten Kim.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get to the point, and I talk about a little bit about this in my book, of course, not about them, but a little bit about it in my book, where he's going to have to compliment Kim when she is looking,
Oh, that's a great, yeah.
Right. He's going to have to do that. So he can't very well, just like no one could have done it for him.
Right.
Kanye, you're making all this, bombastic music or whatever you're doing. No one could have done it for him.
Right. That would have meant nothing to him. Yeah.
Just like he had to evolve, she's going to have to evolve. And if she's truly his partner, his wife that God gave him, she will, but he's going to have to pray. How many, you're married, right? Are you married?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes we have to pray our spouses through things.
Yeah.
It's not like they hear us and go, and when you're talking about someone changing from how they were to another way, they feel defensive.
Right.
You met me this way.
Right.
Well, when I met you that way, I was in another brain space. Okay? I was in another brain space. I didn't have as much wisdom or understanding, or maybe even God hadn't even put this in my heart at that time.
Right. Yeah, no, and I love what you're saying. That's the love of Christ to be formed in him. Right. And, but the reason I had said what I said, because she said to him back, you're stressing me out because you used to like this about me, you know what I mean? And you used to support me in this. But she said this line, that I've been stressed out about, I guess she was going to the Met Gala. And she said, I've been stressed since yesterday. And now you're stressing me more. I just believe there's a certain level of stress that comes with living that way and the way she's dressing. And I know that his understanding isn't very deep right now, but it would have been a moment to be able to say, I think that this is what's stressing you out.
Oh, wow.
Is having to constantly be more sexy and more sexy and more sexy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Where
That's
it's like, just what's intrinsic to Kim? Like, who am I? What do I think is beautiful? Whether it pleases anyone or not. And as the two become one, what's going to be pleasing to our family and just who we are at this moment. But he's going to have to absolutely love and walk with her through that, the way God has loved and walked with him through every season.
Exactly.
Even it's only been a couple of years that at a concert he had someone with a crown of thorns on their head, and he was mocking the name of Christ 2 years ago at
Mm.
one of his
Oh,
concerts.
really? Oh,
And
I didn't know that.
God has loved him right through this, and
Right.
he's recognizing that. So
Mhm.
I pray for Hollywood, and that's why I talk about it, and that's
Me
why
too. I
I'm
mean, I
interested in
do.
it. I don't think you should
Yes.
be in this industry if you're not gonna pray for those in Hollywood, and God
Mhm.
is moving in Hollywood. So I think that it's
Yes.
important that we acknowledge those moves and those things that are
Right.
happening and continue to pray.
And what we have to understand too is that, remember, Lucifer, he was like
Right.
the choir leader.
Right,
So he was
exactly.
like he was in that entertainment realm, if you will.
That's
So
right.
of course he's going to have his hand in that, you know. And of course, the way he is, just like he offered to bless Jesus when he was in the wilderness, when he did the 40 days in the wilderness, how he came to him to tempt him,
Yes.
just like he offered Jesus, hey, if you will bow down and worship me, all of this, all of this,
Mm.
and I will give to you. So how many times has he come to people in the entertainment industry and people that's not normal people? If you will bow down and worship me with your music, with your acting, with your writing, with your entertainment, with whatever it is you do, if you will bow down and worship me with that, I will give you all of this. So what can be happening is that he's giving them all of that because someplace inside of them, they're worshiping him. They're bowing down to him. They're doing his work. So, but the piper has to be paid.
Right.
So you're doing all of this, but his nature is not to bless with peace, with joy, with fulfillment. It's like, so you'll never feel that peace. That's how you know you're on the enemy side. You won't feel that joy. You won't feel that peace. You feel that angst. Back to Kim
Well, it was
Kardashian.
right. Yeah, it was right after that incident with the crown of thorns and the mocking. It was
Mhm.
shortly after that Kanye said that the bipolar symptoms started,
Oh, wow, really?
and he ended up,
I
he
didn't know
ended up in
that.
the hospital um, a
Wow.
while later after that, because I mean, he tried to just embrace it like the world does and say, hey, I'm polar, don't judge, bipolar, don't don't judge me, it's just who I am, it helps my creativity. But you know what, inside he was tormented, and that's why he ended up
Yes.
in a hospital.
Yes.
Sure, we love and accept people that are bipolar, depressed, everything, right?
Yes.
But it's not God's best.
No.
And he had to acknowledge that. And he had to like
Yes.
end up, getting help. But then like he's saying now, God has delivered me. I mean,
Mm.
what a testimony, what a story,
Yes.
And
Yes.
like
Right.
you were about to point out with Kim, it's that anxiety. You've got the fame, you've
Yes.
got this and that, but you're dealing with all of this stress. So back to, your books, and what you said was part of the foundation of your ministry is to help people to be able to live out their dreams in a godly way, their destiny.
Yes.
And that's where you and I vibe together. That's the whole point of this show, is giving people
Yes.
tips and a real live look at someone who's living out their dreams and continuously striving to bigger, better dreams. And how are
Yes.
they doing that in a godly way? Because that
Yes.
has been the thing that Satan has used to tempt so many people. I will
Yes.
give you these dreams, right?
Yes.
But he's
Yes.
also going to give you anxiety, bipolar, suicidal thought. I mean, all manner of things that he wants
Yes.
to give with you, with those dreams. And God's plan is totally different. And
Yes.
yeah,
And
so
that's why people who know and who feel this in their heart and in their spirit, that's why it's up to us to say, hey, we're tempted too.
yeah,
Hey, we go through rough times too. Hey, but there's a community of people who God has preserved, and this walk, this journey that I'm on, I know that God put me on this journey. I know that He is the one who's going to preserve me on this journey. I know that I want as much and as little as God wants to give me, because that's where I'm going to shine. That's where I'm going to do my best. So if God wants me to be presented to 100 million people, I'm willing to do it. But if God wants me to present this to, even with my book and the works I do, to 100 people, we have to be willing to do that, even to the point where it may just be to our families, because somebody in that family, God may have a plan for them, and they need to watch you walk out your dream.
Wow.
So that the bigger dream that's implanted in your child or your grandchild or your neighbor, niece or nephew, whoever it may be, they can, get from you, and then God can grow them, because He knows what we can take. He knows what we can bear.
Good. Yeah.
The enemy does not respect that. He does not respect what we can bear. So he will overburden us and cause us all this anxiety. So he does not respect it. God, He is good. He respects what we can bear, but He knows that our spiritual muscles need to be flexed. So it may feel like we can't bear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then all of a sudden we have borne it, and we did bear it, because we kept the faith. So that's what it's about with your dreams. You have to keep the faith that God is good, that He's doing good things in your life, and that if we just hold on to Him and His way and His unchanging hand, if we just hold on to Him and not let go, then we will be able to succeed. But if we give up, then we're not only are we hurting ourselves, like I said at the beginning, we're hurting a whole lot of people that are supposed to be affected by us, just because we give up.
Wow.
So,
your little mini beautiful sermon right there went exactly with the message that God gave for me today. And so I just want to close with what God gave me. First, before that, I want to say thank you to my supporters on Patreon. You all are the best. I'm so grateful for you. And it's just amazing to have a team of people cheering behind you. So that's patreon.com/FelicityJoy. And we have a community of mutual support there. So thank you guys so much for that. But the quote that God gave me that goes exactly with what Audrey said is, your dream is a gift from God to the world through you.
Yes.
That's what your dream is. And that you have been that to so many people. It's not success by the numbers and how many, like you said, it's success by adhering to what God has written for your life. And the internal fulfillment and what that will bring to the world is something that you will know. You will know. I mean, no one else can judge that, but you can say, man, I believe I'm going to hear well done, because I feel that on the inside, that that God is doing well on the inside of me. Audrey, thank you for first of all, persevering through all the technical uploading, but this worked out great.
It worked out.
It looks awesome. So just thank you so much. Thank you for everything that you do for the community. I'll be posting Today with Audrey Kay. They can get the book there as well, the book.
Well, they can get the book at the www.intothelight, LIGHTSITE, site.com. They can get it there, but they can go on to